Murder Attempt Survivor Stories Part 2. Yesterday we got cut short because I had to run off, but I mean to continue and finish what I started. Number 11. Throw away because this might get popular. I'm a criminal defense attorney. I was representing this guy that had embezzled almost $500,000 from the business. He was looking down the barrel at several years in prison. A bunch of his assets had been seized by the government and was being sued by multiple creditors for north of $2 million. It was in the midst of an ugly divorce and wasn't allowed to see his kids. I was one of 3 lawyers that he had: criminal, civil, and divorce. He was drinking a lot and using cocaine. I used to get his incoherent phone calls in the middle of the night that ranged from threats to crying. He came to my office one day and asked for me, but I was in court. My secretary said that he was perfectly civil. He then went to his divorce lawyer's office and shot him to death. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why are you gonna shoot your lawyers? Why are you gonna shoot your lawyers, dude? They're the ones trying to salvage your life. Why are you gonna shoot your lawyers? Holy hell, man. Bro, he tried to come to my office, but I was in a meeting in court. My secretary said that he seemed perfectly civil, so he then went to the divorce lawyer's office and shot him to death. He got stopped by the police a short distance away and was wounded in a shootout. My man really wanted to go, just to go out. Police a short distance away from him was wounded. He would later tell the cops that he had come to my office to shoot me that day and also planned to shoot his civil attorney. Wow. Wow. Well, that's really a dangerous job, huh? Hello to everybody in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's making sense in your world at the moment. You okay? Things making sense? I'm here for you in the event that it's not. On to the next story. Sorry, I was reading some comments in the stream chat, just making sure everybody's okay. Galactic says, oh boy, hope you're doing well, Cyael. Yeah, I could be worse, and that's the way I always like to look at it. I'm as okay as I am thanks to wonderful supporters such as yourself. So rolling up to number 10 on this list, my supposed best friend decided that my wife and I were too perfect. Therefore, it must all be an act and that I'm actually abusing her. He was out at our house after I made an awesome dinner, and we were having fun drinking and singing karaoke. I went to the kitchen to put some glasses away and came back and leaned on the couch with him slightly behind me and to the left of me. Then I hear a thunk, and I feel pain on top of my skull. He had hit me with a whiskey bottle. Wait, I feel like we read this one yesterday. Damn, so I guess the other one's gonna be the new number 10? Yeah. That's unfortunate. Number 9, boy. I was out with a few friends, and with us was a girl that had just broken up with a psychopath. We didn't know he was psycho. We found out that night. We were just walking back home from a restaurant. It was about 1 a.m., and the guy came running out of nowhere. I don't know. I'm hearing like a high-pitched whistling. It could just be... Oh my god, you're telling me that the sounds are still the same? Oh, $5 from Schwann's.
Hey
Hi, Cyael.
Cyael, did you see the Mandar interview? That was crazy.
Who the hell is... I can't lie to you. I'm not sure who Mandar is. But when I Google it, I see an Indian man. When I Google it, I see an Indian man that is a soccer player. No, Schwann's is saying Mr. Medicare interviewed someone named Mandar. I don't know who the hell that is, man. I really don't. It sounds like some Indian dude, and I've never heard of him before. So I'm very sorry to say it. But I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. Did the music just stop itself? That's so typical. That aside, sorry, I didn't know that I didn't change the, well, actually that kind of fits for this dark list. We'll go with that. So let me continue up this list. Thank you for that donation, my man. I'm sorry, I unfortunately don't know who the hell that is. But as we roll up, we arrive at, no, we're completing number 9, okay? So I was out with a few friends and a girl that had just broken up with a psychopath was with us. We're walking home from the bar and out of nowhere comes this guy charging. I don't know how he knew where and when to meet us, but he ran to the girl, lifted her shirt, stabbed her in the gut, and literally split her belly open like a fish and ran off. This whole thing happened so quickly that we were all just in shock. The girl was holding her own intestines in her own hands, and she was so shocked that she didn't even seem scared. Wasn't screaming or anything, she just stood there, and we called an ambulance, and they managed to somehow put everything back and sew her up. This happened around 3 years ago, and she still has serious problems with her digestive tract. Can't eat certain things. Oh my god. And the image of her just getting stabbed in the middle of a path is still in my mind. She's holding her guts. It'll remain stuck in my head forever. The guy got 13 years in jail. That's kind of scary that you could just gut somebody in the stomach and be outside, just outside of a decade, boy. That's a bit intense. That is a bit intense. That is a bit... Why didn't something pop up? Oh, HDY Stone. HDSY Stone. Thank you, my man. Yep, don't know what the hell you're talking about. Number 8, man. Well, my mom got mad at me when I was 20 years old and I didn't give her her money for her birthday. Which I'm assuming was to pay off drug dealers of hers. So she stabbed me between the ribs, ended up getting stuck in the bone and had to get it taken out in surgery. Your mom stabbed you because you didn't give her money to pay off her dealers. Bruh. Wow. You guys thought you had it rough with your parents. I said, I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you. Oh my God. Continuing up this list, we arrive at number 7. I was riding in a train across Eastern Europe. I was running low on money, and even though I had been warned that a woman... Damn it, I read this one, so it's very interesting to see some of them, I want to say, go up in notoriety. I should have just had that old list open, and there's a likelihood that I probably do. But finding it now will be next to impossible. When will Halo be available? I'm going to go down to number 12 and see if I read this. Let me read number 12 and see if it's something that we reread. I am now 25 years old, but when I was 18 and female, wait, I guess they're saying that they are 18. That is Jesus Christ. Oh my God, if you're gonna see my face. Oh shit. That is Naruto. Forgive me. Just on the playlist with the music that I had for ooh boy, dude. I am sorry about that. It can be a secret between just us. Alright? Holy hell. Let's continue. It was on the playlist, okay? So, 18 female at the time, but now I am 25. I was on my way home at night after meeting a friend. My home was just 10 minutes away from the train station, and after a few minutes, I felt someone following me. No big deal, I'm thinking. Just someone else walking home. But I started walking faster, and I realized that the person behind me was catching up. Weird. In my head, I started to make up scenarios of how to defend myself if the person would attack. Never would I think of this to actually happen. Well, until I felt someone on the back of my head hitting me hard. I went furious. I turned around and attacked the guy. Mind you, I was just full of anger towards this stranger who I thought hit me. We were wrestling and I fell to the ground and he was sitting on top of me, strangling me. I tried to crawl my nails into his eyes as deep as... Well, damn, Luscat.
Thanks for the entertainment.
Thank you for the support, my man. I appreciate this endlessly. You're a wonderful and amazing person. Thank you. As we continue. For real. For real. Is Stream Boss up there? I want people to know what's going on. You know. Jesus is Stream Boss. Intense. Soon he will be dethroned, and the dancing Thanos will be no more. Soon. So this girl's trying to dig her claws into the guy's face. Just as deep as she could. But then of course she starts to black out as she's being choked. Suddenly there was this thought, wake up or you'll die. And adrenaline kicks in. She opens her eyes and screams at the top of her lungs and is attacking him back. That helped because he stood up and began to run, and I laid there for a few seconds and I started to run home still screaming. That's so sad. My mom was already at the door and opened for me because screams woke her up. She immediately called the cops and they could arrest him on the same night. It turned out that he actually shot me in the head from behind. They assumed the gun didn't work properly, the bullet didn't penetrate my skull, and got stuck in there. But as far as I know, they never found out why the gun misfired. What? I'm glad though. He told the cops that he already followed me a few times in the past, but never had the guts to do it. He wanted to kill me and rape my dead body. I know that's a wild story, and I have newspaper articles And a source if anyone cares. My God, dude. That is so sickening. That's the world y'all living in, man. You won't find a lot of people telling you, a real story about terrible things like that occurring, but it is the truth. And that's unfortunate, I always find it amusing how I go entire weeks without getting any messages on Snapchat, but as soon as I start streaming, it's like I'm the most popular person in the world. So I always just like watch the I don't know, man. There's got to be something a little more assholey. If anybody in the stream can come up with a great asshole move to I don't know, hit people with in my chats that are blowing shit up as soon as I'm on stream, these motherfuckers, as we roll up to what will surely be a new entry, right? Because the other ones I've read before. Number 6 reads, jeez. My husband and I live above a place that we do business in. Out alarm company calls us. I'm guessing they meant to say our alarm company calls us at about 3 a.m. to say that there was a motion detector alert. Just one. In a weird place. We assumed it was a mouse, but we went to reset it / check it out. My husband ended up face to face with a burglar who was on his way out the window that he had broken. He ran back inside, I called 911, and we heard mad chaos going on in the depths of the building. So much crashing and smashing. The burglar monkey climbed a 10-foot iron gate, bodily smashed his way through 2 sets of commercial grade glass, doors, and was outside again. My husband was like, yeah, fuck this dude, tore after him and tackled him. He got him on the ground and pinned him. Bear in mind, the whole time I'm narrating to 911 and chasing around in panties and a tank top. I was a bit behind my husband in the middle of the street, about 15 minutes away, when a minivan squealed around the corner. It was his girlfriend, the getaway driver. I luckily missed it. I was super focused on reading the license plate, which was one of those cutesy fonts from out of state, and therefore hard to read, but she yelled, "Get the fuck off him or I'm running your bitch over," and then she tried to run me over. The audio and the video I had to watch after the trial was horrifying. I had it blacked out of my memory near completely, and really didn't remember just how close it was. She guns the engine at me. I throw my hands up in front of my face when I realize that she's doing what she's doing, and I scream and jump out of the way with near inches to spare. He jumped off and they went. He bled all over my husband, yikes, and eventually the DNA and the partial plate nailed him. They're both in prison. Addendum, trials suck. Yeah, it probably took years to put these assholes away. Probably took years. Jade says, what is the stream goal? I don't think we're close to it, but let's see. Sorry that I don't have these things up. As I keep having to reset the, everything for different types of streams. Okay. Hey, that's weird. Because we just got like I wonder if it had been reset recently. Strange. Strange. I guess that's life. As we continue up this list, ladies and gentlemen, we're nearly at the end with only 5 more to go. 5, I was excited. That's not the end of the story. I was getting lost. Tokur says, I was wondering why I didn't hear anything, but then I remembered I muted the site from when I streamed earlier. Hilarious, and I hope that you were better for the experience of not understanding. that you muted it. Okay. Number 5, I was excited to go to a bar, and while exiting, after last call, was with a friend who was a medic. We saw a girl laying in the snowbank near a telephone pole who had just been hit by a car. We ran over and tried to help her. Some others were already on the phone to 911, and I, not having any medical training, didn't have anything to contribute, but didn't want to just leave. Excuse me, the old hiccup burp combination. The whole situation was concerning. I turned around for a second and started to hear people screaming, and I turned around and a minivan is heading towards us. The few people around this woman, they already started to run, but I was too late. He hit me as I was trying to flee. He put the car in reverse, ran over me again, and then went forward and ran over me a third time. It turns out the guy was high and drunk and got into a fight with the woman's boyfriend, whom I bared a strong resemblance to. Let me interject here, dear listeners. You're high and you're drunk, and your motor functions are, you have the wherewithal. God damn, Jade.
You are making me less cranky today. Thank you. 10 squats and 20 jumping jacks.
Damn, girl. I appreciate this and I appreciate you. Why are you so wonderful? It's like in an alternate reality, you'd have been the sugar mama I always dreamed of. With my chips. With my chips. Thank you, Jade. You're amazing. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just destroyed Jesus. So, Jade, I remember, like, if I were to go right now into the Discord, I think you were sending me ideas for what you would have wanted for, because I remember you saying the little girl. First of all, thank you. You are the stream boss. Give it up for Jade style. Okay. So I'm going to have Jade make a final decision right now in the chat about what she wants as the new GIF, you know? So hello, Kimmy, saying hi to me and Dia. Dia is out grabbing food. And Ghost says move the goal to the top left corner. It wouldn't work on the left because you know, because the cat's on top of it. You see the prayer bloom? I can move it up like this so that it's not really obstructing anything. Don't worry about it. But yeah. I mean, this is so sad. Usually I have all this these hot fire suggestions about you know, I want to say how to avoid this kind of bullshit, but my man was literally out with a friend who was tending to somebody who had been wounded, and then some other guy was just standing there and got ran over 3 times because the dude drove over him, backed up over him, and then drove over him again. Turns out the guy was high and drunk. Got into a fight with the girl's boyfriend, who I looked like. He thought that I was him. Not to throw a pity party for myself, but 9 years later, I have a ton of medical issues, and my life pretty much started on a downward spiral since then. But sure, I guess I survived. Jesus Christ, it sucks. It sucks. And this is not what you guys want to hear. And I would normally spare you this kind of shit. And I know that sounds bizarre, me normally sparing you the reality of life, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't really want you guys. I feel like life is a little bit gayer than it needs to be. And, you know, even though I want everybody to be well aware that life is not intended to be fair and that there's not some kind of cosmic, I don't know, compass as far as morality or, you know, karmic distribution to keep things equal. Even I think that sometimes we got to turn a blind eye to some terrible shit going on. You know, I believe that these streams in and of themselves are distractions for some of you from some of the terrible shit that's really going down in most people's life. And I get that. But at the same time, I don't want to sugarcoat the reality of some of the things that surround us. And I'm sorry to prerequisite what I'm going to read with all of this garbage. I'm just going to get to it. But I certainly want you guys aware of how faulty our legal system is. Because here it is, the story of this guy saying that, you know, he was run over by a guy deliberately who was high and drunk, you know, and then the guy ran over him, backed up over him, ran over him again, and he's living a life, you know, because of this encounter. He adds an edit to his story that says, for everyone wondering about the guy, an off-duty cop saw the entire thing go down and copied his license plate. He was apprehended 20 minutes later and charged with attempted murder along with other things. But he pleaded out to just 3 years in jail. He had actually killed someone a few years earlier for drunk driving, and how they thought that that was appropriate is beyond me. Now listen to me, dear viewer. I've been through some shit, you know? A lot of us have been through some shit. It only really takes you one time mixing up with the courts to understand that unless you have enough fucking, not just hundreds or thousands, but I'm talking like hundreds of thousands, to be losing on proper representation, to be losing to make the courts and the law work for you, my dude. Nothing's fair, and it doesn't matter. An off-duty cop saw this nigga, and when they caught him and proved that it was, you know, he was actually drunk. He was actually high. He had priors. He had killed somebody previously in a drunk driving incident. For him to somehow manage to be able to plea out to 3 years, how is that possible? There are people who are going to be sitting in jail for the rest of their life because they got caught with a little bit of drugs. Not a lot of bit of drugs, a little bit of drugs. And the comedy of our legal system is that even when those drugs become legal and their crimes are therefore invalidated, you know, they still going to be sitting in jail. The same legal system when a hoe comes out of nowhere and says, he raped me, he abused me, and they put this dude away for God knows how long. And then she comes out and goes, okay, I made it all up. And they put her in jail for a hilariously small amount of time, if they even do that, dude. And they let a nigga out with a pat on the back. Like, what's really hood? That's the world you're living in. Some dude ran a dude over while under the influence. This is sick. This is sick. There's this show, like it's a sketch comedy show called Mitchell and Webb that it's old school. It had this dude named David Mitchell on there and another guy named Robert Webb. And it was kind of like Hugh and Laurie, if you know what that's like. But I guess the most normie way to describe it would be like a British Saturday Night Live or Mad TV. But it was mainly just two guys. And one of my favorite segments that this dude did, David Mitchell, he had a segment called Stay Indoors. And I just love everything about it, because that's the way I feel all the time. Like, stay indoors. Yo, fuck. You're barely even going to be safe here. Y'all remember that story about the cop who bust up in the wrong apartment and then shot the dude because they got mixed up? And then they tried painting the dude like he was a villain. Like it wasn't exclusively the cop's fault. Y'all trying to make this dude look like some kind of villain now when you mistakenly broke into his... That's a weird way to say innocent man, that you broke into his house. And yo, that's the world we living in, man. And if we ever get any money, if we can't make a bunker and live in that, then we need to get as far away from everybody. Boy, it's scary. This is that scary shit to me. I could look up creepy stories and creepy places and disturbing blah 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 all night, boy, but ain't nothing creepier than like when you actually need help, that help's not available to you. It's not just like medical or, legal things where it's like, oh, you want to be able to know that if something's wrong with you, you can go to a doctor and actually receive that care, as opposed to just people going, you're fine, get out of here. Or when, somebody breaks into your house or somebody has physically, wronged you, you want to be able to know like, oh, okay, well, I have video of this. Is this person are they going to face justice? And they're like, well, he's got money for a lawyer, so this could take a couple of years. And even if it does, then, maybe he'll get a little bit of time served if he was in jail for a little bit, or maybe some community service. Now he's on, supervision, just have him on house arrest, have him sit in his house. Big deal. What the fuck? What the fuck? Hey, get me through this list. Number 4. 3 men drugged me and kidnapped me. I woke up on the floor with one of them tearing my clothes off and my broken foot. I tried kicking him off with the boot that I had on, but he started knocking my head into the floor and I passed out. I woke up in a daylight. And well, I woke up in a lit scenario, like it was daytime, in a garbage bin, naked and in a pool of my own blood. I don't know how the fuck I got out of there or how I found the nearest policeman, but I then collapsed again and woke up in the hospital with 52 stitches in my head and 78 in and around my vulva and breasts. Doctor said it was the worst rape trauma they had ever seen. They say it's a miracle I'm alive and don't know how I did it. They were never caught. I am a crisis, trauma, and PTSD counselor now. They did not win. Okay. This is a heavy little list. Okay. Well, look, 3 more entries. My sister had this one friend when we were growing up, and I always got a bad vibe from him. She would try to pick up or pick on my little brother, but I would always stop her. I was 8. She was 10. Once we were at a lake, and all the kids were swimming, and I swam out to the deep roped off part, but I was still little and really shouldn't have. She kept acting weird and getting closer to me and making this weird laugh. She pushed me off the wooden pole and into the water, and I got scared and started to swim back up, but she came up behind me and pushed me down under the water. It didn't click at first that she was trying to drown me, but after she aggressively pushed me for the 3rd time, I had this crazy moment of clarity. It was like the world slowed down ever so briefly. I relaxed, let myself swim, swam under her, came up behind her, grabbed her hair and shoved her face into the water, keeping my legs on her back so that she couldn't rise. I waited until her struggling slowed down and let her come up. I waited in the water, saying nothing, bracing myself for retaliation, and she just looked panicked and swam back to shore. I told my sister, who had already expressed that the girl was weird. We confronted her together, and she just looked really dazed. In a monotone voice, she said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know it would be like that." It wasn't until I replayed those words in my mind later that I realized that she was saying, "Sorry, I tried to drown you." It wasn't until I was almost drowned myself that I realized how horrible it is to do that to someone. Some people are just sick in the head, boy. A lot of kids are fucking sick, but this is, how do you, I was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, that some people do some shit not because they can. Some people just do shit because they can, but other people do shit because they genuinely don't understand that it's wrong. That it's wrong. I think I was talking about abandoning kids. I think I remember now. And I was talking about how, like, some guys, maybe they got like a career going for them. Maybe they got shit going on. Maybe they, about to travel or about to have some crazy things occurring in their life. And they've just knocked a bitch up. And in their mind, it's a choice. They think, oh, should I just stay and parent this kid? Or should I go, let what I got going on happen? Should I continue to live my life? And it shouldn't be a choice. You are responsible for bringing this life into the world. So naturally, you need to nut the fuck up. You need to man up, take care of your business, because that's what you're about. But to some people, hey, that is their choice. And it's like in their mind, they don't even process it as wrong, And some people, you always hear me tease specifically. I get, a little bit heated when we talk about people who seem to need to have something similar occur with them before they're capable of empathy or sympathy. And I think that's the most basic thing in the fucking world, where you have to have a similar event occur with you or to someone, a loved one of yours or someone in your family before you give a shit. Like, yeah, what a joke. What a fucking joke. So, again, all I can do is applaud people with the strength to persevere, like that, chick in the last story. Holy shit. To just be used, to be overpowered like that, and then to keep going. It's something spectacular. And, I gravitate to people who know what a struggle is like. I'm borderline aroused by people who know what it's like to, who know the difference between a luxury, and reality, my dude. Some people are so ignorant, they'll never really have that kind of problem. They'll never have that kind of struggle or difficulty, those types of obstacles. The most they'll have to worry about is waking up and not looking a certain way, or the struggling under the mountain of choices that they have to make with how they're going to do this or that, dude. But for some people, we don't have choices. We don't have those kinds of opportunities. We don't have those doors, Some people don't just have like a shitload of doors that they can walk through, but they also have the opportunity to walk through one door and then go back through another door. That's nuts. Some of us got one door and no key, and that door is like straight locked, and we're walking around looking for windows to see if we could break our way in, dude. It's nuts. So when some of these people are struggling under the no pressure that they have in their quote unquote lives, dude, and other people are carrying the burden of like 1,000 lifetimes, and they're shouldering the burdens of other people in their lives too, because it's like that's just who they are, and they wouldn't consider. And it's tragic to me. It's tragic, but I don't know. I just hope everybody that's trying so hard to make it work gets what's coming to them eventually. And what's coming to them, in my opinion, is somebody that's willing to bend over backwards or break their back just as much for you as you are willing to for some other people. Because the truth of the matter is, we should do unto others as we would like for them to do unto us. But for some people that are the recipients of our grace and kindness, it never occurred to them that they needed to give back, because any and every thought that they have is woefully self-serving. And it's not even like a deliberate cruelty on some of their parts. Some of them don't know better than to only think of themselves, because that's how they were taught. That's how they were raised. That's what they've been getting away with so far. So why not continue? But for For anybody that is struggling and putting in that work and, you know, trying to be there for other people, even though it seems like nobody's trying to be there for you, I hope that you recognize that you are appreciated in a way that people couldn't articulate if they wanted to, because how could they? How could they? On that bing bong salad. Number 2, I was 14 and outside in my garage petting my cat. It was November, so it was already dark by 5 p.m. Someone opened the door behind me, without me hearing them open the door, grabbed me by my ponytail and started dragging me outside. They hit me on my head with a brick and knocked me out. They pulled me halfway around my house, when I'm guessing they stabbed me on the left side of my stomach. This must have brought me out of my daze, because my mom said she heard me scream from inside where she and my brother and sister were in the kitchen, and they came out the front door and saw me bleeding on the sidewalk. They called 911. 12 stitches, severe concussion, and whiplash. I didn't eat and I hardly slept, and they never found the guy. Shit, man. It's so sickening when they never find the people. You never found the guy. Somebody said this is why I have a dog. Is Cyael gonna need to get a dog? That'd be cool. Cool, a dog. A doggy dog. An interesting thought. As we continue through this list, we arrive finally at number 1 on the list of murder attempt horror. That's not what it's called. That's not what it's called, Cyael. You better look at that title card. Murder attempt survivor stories. Nice. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My dad was a meth addict. He did lots of messed up things. He would drop me off at trap houses to have sleepovers with other coke babies. Living in a house full of animal poop. Hoarding. He sicked his pit bull on a African American child. He was a real fucking douche. One night he came looking for my mom and I at our place. Mom was not there and grandma was babysitting me. I was sleeping in a bed when somebody started to try and open my window. It was locked, but they kept jamming something into the bottom of it, trying to pry it open. At the same time, I heard the living door being tried by someone else. My grandma snuck into my room in her nightgown, apparently woken up by the same thing, and told me to say nothing. Don't even whisper. We laid under my bed while a group of men shouted for my mom to come out. They slammed their hands on the window to try and break them and jumped on my grandma's car. She called the police and barely whispered into the phone, and eventually the cops arrived and the men scattered. Long story short, my dad and his other meth head friends came to my house with guns and knives with every intention to kill me and my mother because she was going to get custody of me. If my mom wasn't so vigilant with the locks, we had 3 different kinds, we would have died. Damn, boy. Damn, boy. Well, that sucks, boy. That fucking sucks. Was it something you do twice just to make sure? Intriguing. Whoa. I'm very sorry about that. I was checking out a like they call it a public freakout video, and that's rude that I did that. when it started like that. This coach just slapped a student. Oh my God. Oh my God. I think that's gotta be her dad. Mr. Body Massage Machine, go! Sorry. Guys, love ya. I should do, I should do her workout. Fine. I'll put on public freakouts. While I do these very quick workouts, because I think there was like 40 today. And I'm going to look at my, unless things came into the PayPal, in which case I'll need to double check, but I think I get phone notifications for that. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Oh, there are 15. 15 more than the 30. And Jade gave special instruction, so allow me to do that very quickly. We're gonna pull up this, squish that down. Yeah, everybody's saying that they think that person slapping somebody was the dad. Woman pushes old guy from bus because he asked her to be nicer to fellow passengers. This isn't good. So let me start lifting. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. What a scumbag. I hope this bitch was apprehended. I mean, they did get her on camera. I hope they got her on camera. That's an old fucking man, dude. And you're pushing an old man like that? Are you fucking joking? The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department arrested Kadisha with your bitch ass. 25 years old and you're acting like that? You got nothing going on in your life, you cunt. You know how many 25-year-olds I know right now are living the life? On Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, just chilling, letting everybody eat out of their palm of their hand because they're young, they're female. Oh my gosh. It's not that easy for everybody, but some girls can make it work. On May 3rd, after she pushed a 74-year-old man from a bus, consequently killing him. Bitch, that's murder. Sit your ass in jail. Sit your ass in prison. What? You let words bring you to physical action. You are a female. You are a typical female. You let words from a man 50 years older than you get under your skin, and you killed him. You killed him. Fuck you. The encounter occurred on March 21st, 13th Street, Fremont. The victim described to officers that a woman who was cursing at other passengers had pushed him. As he was exiting the bus, the victim hit his head on a concrete sidewalk, and witnesses say the female, later identified as Kadisha, left the fucking scene with her child. And this bitch a mom. This hoe is a mom with your hoe ass. Fuck this lady. What the hell? What the hell? An autopsy revealed that the victim had died from delayed complications from blunt force trauma. Oh my God. Homicide. Good. Bishop's son's father described her as violent when they interviewed him, saying he was no longer with her because of it. A warrant for her arrest was issued the same day? Bishop has previously pled guilty to 2 domestic violence misdemeanors. Bishop remained detained as of May 8th. Her bail was set to $100,000 according to jail records. Preliminary hearing scheduled for May 21st according to... How the fuck did she end up with a kid? Well, look, when you have breasts and an ass and you're genuinely female, I'm talking biologically female, it's easy to make the guys want that. It's easy to get the guys in there. I want some conclusive bullshit. How the hell is Dia not back yet? No, I can hear her now. Hello, Diaz.
Guess what?
What?
So, when I got the bags, they accidentally...
Gave you the cinnamon rolls?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted those, but I didn't want to pay for them, so it's crazy that we got them. It's crazy as fuck that we got them.
I think
You think?
all of my luck in fucking food. I didn't mean to get them. Oh, and as I was pulling away, I just heard the lady that like was at the window go, "Hey!" And I'm just like, did I forget something? I'm like, nope. I accidentally took a bit more than I was supposed to.
I like that you kept driving though.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't.
Hey, I don't know if y'all heard Dia just now, but she got some like cinnamon because I sent her to KFC.
I feel bad.
And I like the idea that she was like driving away, and they were like, "Hey, come back!" And she was like,
"No." All they said was,
she was like, you know what I'm talking about? She was like, nah. Shit. What the fuck?
I'm using all of my stupid luck on fucking food, and it makes me mad. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm infuriated now.
Let me get these other 15 in with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's look over here at the rest of this Kadisha story, see if we can get a little bit of a conclusion to that, because this is unfortunate.
Dia, Grand Theft Pastry.
Woman charged with murder 5 hours ago.
Police say the suspect, Kadisha Bishop, was acting erratically on the bus.
Shut the hell up. So, like, we gotta wait for, like, all of this shit to go through. Okay. Her preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 23rd, and today is the 15th. Oh, boy. Linda says they already passed it out the window. They can't take it back and give it to the person who actually ordered it.
And then she follows it up with
it's against food safety. Yeah, Linda, I love how you think people follow that kind of shit. You know how many things I've taken into my car and then had to pass back because I was like, this isn't what I ordered. And they were like, Guys, I love you. I'm going to do these jumping jacks after I end this stream, and then you guys will see me again with who knows what. Maybe we'll do some sort of bing bong, okay? But get into the Discord, send me a message on Snapchat, let me know what you think I should be doing. I'm going to be writing the script for the short Detective Pikachu review. I did an unedited version of that I uploaded this morning, if you're interested in that. Long story short, I liked it, but it is a spoiler review if you're trying to avoid that. And you guys can catch me soon. I love you to death. Thank you for being here. A special thanks, of course, to Jade, the new stream boss, devastating them in the chat. You know what I'm talking about? really do hope that you guys all, I don't know, that you're feeling like tough, you know. Thank you to Les Cat, and thank you to Schwans for your donation. And I will again see you guys very, 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 very soon. Love you. Caitlin says some lady murdered an old man. It's really fucked up. It's super fucked up. That's not what you want to see. Oh my God. That technically makes that GIF watch people die. No, he didn't die at the time. So it's not, okay. All right. See you guys later. Okay. There's that clarification for you, YouTube. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. That's fucked up. Okay. Later, everybody. Love you. Bye.